Schedule 1 is taking Steam by storm as an indie game, and if you haven't heard of it yet, get ready, it's an exhilarating experience. You play as a small-time drug dealer in a gritty fictional city called Hyland Point, with the ultimate goal of climbing your way up to kingpin status. It's like a twisted rags to riches story. Believe me, it's just as hilarious as it is addictive. The game starts with you having almost nothing, just a few shoddy ingredients and a dream. From there you dive into the world of cooking drugs, selling them on the streets, and gradually building an empire brick by brick. The gameplay immerses you in a cycle of crafting recipes. Think of it as a shady cooking simulator, where each drug has its own unique production process. You become part chef, part criminal mastermind, mixing chemicals, adjusting formulas, and hoping that things don't blow up in your face. And that's just the beginning. You can also buy properties, hire crew, and defend your turf from anyone foolish enough to challenge you. In the early stages, you'll find yourself hunched over a broken stove in a sketchy apartment, stirring a pot of who knows what, praying you don't mess up the recipe. But as you progress, you unlock crazier concoctions, like rare drug variants that enhance your profits or speed up production. It's oddly satisfying, similar to upgrading your gear in an RPG, except in this case, your gear is a meth lab. Here's where it gets even better. Schedule 1 features co-op multiplayer for up to 4 players. That's right, you can team up with your friends and run your cartel like a dysfunctional family business. One player cooks, another sells the product, and someone else is out there handling security. It's chaotic, but in the best way possible. Visually, Schedule 1 doesn't aim for gritty realism. It boasts a bold, cartoonish style reminiscent of Rick and Morty. Hyland Point may be a rundown city, but it's full of charm. You'll find neon signs flickering over dive bars, quirky NPCs wandering around, and storefronts sporting names like Techo Ticklers that make you chuckle every time. The characters are exaggerated with big heads, wild outfits, and silly animations. There's even a guy by the pier wearing a pirate hat for no apparent reason. He's become my favorite part of the scenery. It's less about looking realistic and more about creating a vibrant, engaging atmosphere, and Schedule 1 nails that vibe perfectly. Now, let's dive deeper into the gameplay of Schedule 1. This is where the game really grabs you and doesn't let go. The first step in your journey is drug production. Each substance has its own unique recipe, and it's not as simple as just hitting a button. You need to mix ingredients, time your processes correctly, and occasionally tweak factors like heat or pressure. The experience feels very hands-on, like you're truly experimenting in a lab. For example, one drug might require you to stir 3 chemicals in a specific order, while another needs to be cooled before it's ready for sale. If you mess up, you could end up with unusable sludge, or even worse, cause an explosion that devastates your workspace. I've blown up my lab more times than I want to admit, but successfully completing a difficult recipe is incredibly exhilarating. As you gain experience, you'll discover rare variants, like enhanced versions of drugs that can sell for triple the normal price. It feels like finding a golden ticket and encourages you to keep experimenting. In one playthrough, I dedicated an hour to adjusting a formula just to see the results, and I ended up creating something so powerful that my dealers couldn't keep up with the demand. This blend of strategy and discovery makes the game highly replayable. Once your stash is ready, it's time to sell. You can either hit the streets yourself by walking, skateboarding, or driving, or hire dealers to handle the sales for you. Selling personally is risky but quick. You'll need to dodge cops and rival gangs, navigating alleys like you're in a heist movie. I enjoy using a skateboard because it's fast, and there's something amusing about lying over a cop while carrying a bag of contraband. However, if you're playing strategically, it's wiser to delegate. Hiring dealers, you relax and focus on the bigger picture, but you must keep an eye on them. Some might be lazy, while others could be tempted to steal your profits. Hyland Point is an excellent setting for this dynamic. The city features various areas, like the treacherous docks or the bustling downtown, each offering unique risks and rewards. Selling downtown can net you more cash, but the police presence is heavy. The docks are quieter, but rival gangs often lurk there. It's a constant balancing act. I've had moments when I thought I was being clever, only to get caught because I didn't scout the area first. Now comes the thrilling part of turning your small operation into a massive empire. You can buy properties, such as abandoned houses, storefronts, or warehouses, and convert them into drug labs, stash houses, or money laundering fronts. Each location comes with its own advantages. For instance, a warehouse produces goods more quickly, while a fancy penthouse keeps your cash hidden from law enforcement. I once bought a rundown motel and transformed it into a production hub. It looked terrible, but it churned out a lot of product. You'll also need to hire a crew to help with operations. These NPCs can handle cooking, deliveries, and security, allowing you to focus on your next plans. However, they aren't perfect. Some might slack off while others could betray you. I had a dealer who frequently claimed he lost shipments, and it took me far too long to realize he was pocketing the money. Managing your crew adds a layer of strategy that can be both frustrating and rewarding at the same time. Not everyone is happy to see you succeed. Cops patrol the streets, and rival gangs are eager to take over your territory. That's when the fighting begins. You have access to fists, baseball bats, guns, the whole arsenal. The combat is intentionally silly. If you hit someone with a bat, they'll fly across the screen like a cartoon character. It's not like Call of Duty. This game leans more towards humor than precision. One time I defeated a rival with a frying pan I found nearby, and the animation was so absurd that I had to pause the game to catch my breath from laughing. The real challenge lies in balancing everything, making money, staying under the radar, and defending your turf. A single mistake, such as ignoring a gang encroaching on your territory, can spark an all-out war. I've lost entire operations to police raids because I let my confidence get the better of me, but those setbacks only fuel my determination to rebuild. Co-op mode elevates the experience. When playing with friends, you assign different roles. One person becomes the chef, another the muscle, and someone else takes on the role of the driver. It flows smoothly if everything goes according to plan, but when it doesn't, chaos ensues. My crew once tried to execute a big sale, but our driver, the hot dog cart guy, crashed us into a river and we lost everything. However, the laughter and banter in the voice chat during that moment made it all worth it. You can also play pranks on each other, like stealing a friend's stash for fun, which adds an unpredictable twist to the game. There isn't a rigid storyline, which is actually one of the game's strengths. You create your own narrative through each deal, fight, and purchase. In one playthrough, I focused on establishing a discrete network of hideouts, while in another, I embraced a Scarface-style approach, taking out anyone who stood in my way. Both experiences felt uniquely mine, and that freedom keeps the game feeling fresh. If you're a gamer, picture Schedule I as a blend of Grand Theft Auto, Overcooked, and Stardew Valley. You get the open-world chaos of GTA, the frantic multitasking of Overcooked, and the rewarding progression of Stardew, all wrapped in a humorous, light-hearted package. Compared to Drug Dealer Simulator, it's less serious and more social, with tighter mechanics and a brighter tone. It's a combination that seems unlikely, but it works remarkably well. I'm sure you must be thinking, why does Schedule 1 stand out, and why should you give it a shot? Did you know that Schedule 1 was created by a solo developer from Sydney, Australia? Just one person built this entire world. The game has gained massive popularity, with over 130,000 players online at its peak. It's currently in early access, meaning it's still evolving with updates based on player feedback. New drugs, larger maps, and wilder features like bribing cops or running legitimate businesses as a front are on the horizon. The community plays a vital role in the game's success. The Discord server is filled with tips, memes, and wild stories, like the player who turned a taco stand into a drug hub. The developer actively participates and welcomes ideas from the community. For instance, the addition of skateboards was a fan suggestion. It's reassuring to know that players have a say in shaping the game. Playing Schedule I feels like being the star of a wacky crime movie. Imagine Breaking Bad with a comedic twist. The co-op mode is a blast, building your empire is addictive, and the light-hearted atmosphere keeps it enjoyable. The game has depth while remaining easily accessible, perfect for both casual gamers and strategists. Watching your cash pile up while your rivals crumble, absolutely satisfying. In my opinion, Schedule I is a must-try game. It's available on Steam, and there's a free demo so you can test it out. Gather some friends, dive into Hyland Point, and share your wildest stories with me. I can't wait to hear them. Before I wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank all my supporters for their ongoing encouragement for watching my content. This channel has reached 50,000 views in just 2 months. That's a huge milestone for a small creator like me. Thank you. It wouldn't have been possible without your support. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to keep supporting the channel. You can also donate to my PayPal with a link available in the channel's bio or description. I appreciate every bit of support.